Something like that. I mean, I might get copyrighted for that because I think that's pretty on pitch, but Star Wars Jedi Survivor. There are 54 trophies in total. There's going to be plenty of taking down droids, plenty of listening to the droids being iconic.
When will we get some action?
And plenty of running into classic EA glitches. Can't wait for those moments. Running into glitches, I think, is always my favourite part of any game ever. But step one of this platinum was to just go through the game, enjoy it, enjoy the beauty of the world of Star Wars, get used to the incredible skills of using a lightsaber, which always feels really good. I'll give the game that. But it didn't take long before I was absolutely obliterating stormtroopers left, right and centre. And actually having a blast with the game pretty early on. It did not take long for me to start getting into this game. And I actually really enjoyed the first game. I think there were some things that they could have improved on. And here it kind of felt like more of the same, just with some added extra bonus things on, including glitches, unfortunately. But you know what Cal's like, it didn't take long for him to get into his first boss fight of the game. And of course, with every game ever since the history of mankind, you get a trophy for killing the first boss of the game. And not too long after that, another trophy for moving on to a new planet. Look at how pretty this planet looks. So sandy, so Star Wars-y, so graphically pristine. I don't know, I'm impressed.
Take a look at that view. Is that a giant crater? Wow, I got it so easy. Guard the cliff, crush the locals, look at the scenery. Nobody's getting past me. Not without a blaster hole in them. I wonder if I'll get promoted for doing such a good job. Then I'll get the other droids to guard the cliff. But then I won't see the scenery. Now that's a dilemma.
Dilemma solved.
Yeah, I felt a bit bad about that one. But you know what? Wipe those tears. Droids don't cry. I don't think, anyway. We've got more things to do. Oh, no, here's another droid being iconic.
What are we doing here? Guarding. It's boring. When will we get some action?
Okay, droids aside, this is where the planet really started to open up. And it's not quite as big as, like, The Legend of Zelda. It's not like you go in any direction, any place you ever really wanted to go, your dreams come true. But I just felt like doing a bit of exploring before getting on with the main story. And before too long, we came across our next trophy. Can you pet the bogling for, I mean, you guessed it, petting this... I don't want to say monstrosity because it's kind of cute, but that thing. And then in classic Cal fashion, next boss.
Get back here! Lucky little rat! No! Lift off! So long! You're exhausting! This is how Bramble... Oh, monkey mate.
Impressive.
Impressive indeed, mutant. And after bumping into an old friend at the local pub, we got another trophy, grabbed some seat. Cal got a little bit too friendly with some of the customers.
I'm Zig, by the way.
Nice to meet you.
And as punishment, he had to go scrub the toilets, which is absolutely fine because that got him a trophy, cleaning up. And after cleaning literal turds and piss out of the Star Wars wee, though, space wee and space poo out of toilets, I was starting to feel myself a bit, feel like a real Jedi, and then went on to get my next trophy. They never saw it coming, and that was for killing 20 enemies that never saw it coming. And while we're on the topic of stormtroopers, can we just talk about how goofy these guys are? Like, it was getting to the point where I kind of like the droids, I was just starting to feel a little bit bad for them. Not too bad, because, I mean, if you're getting yourself into these situations, then, I mean, God help you, but... And then it's Cal. So what do you think happened next? I'll give you one guess.
What have you done?
Correct. Another boss fight.
Meager.
What did he say?
Trivial. Stand and act. That wretched order grew rude the day they betrayed me and forsook Tantalus.
But this Dagon guy was so scared, he fled the country or the planet or something like that because he was scared. He was trembling in his boots. But don't worry guys, while Dagon may tremble in his boots, we'll get another trophy for fighting him anyway. Oh, what's that? You can talk and tame animals in Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Hell yeah. Oh, and then you can get a trophy for having that animal fall to its death. Hell yeah. As for other trophies, there was riposte, or riposte, I don't really know. And that was for force pulling an enemy and parrying their move that they try and pull out on you every single time. And then I was feeling ready, so I thought, why not try and take on the Rancor? And it went something like this. Okay, I might have died like a few times. The Sodden Grotto is the place that this guy dwells in, by the way. Sodden Grotto, that's disgusting. But I did start to get quite good at this game, so I did manage to take it down after like 10 times or something like that.
Hears about this right on his doorstep.
And then it was time to go to the next planet of the game, sandy desert planet, and I found out pretty quickly that this planet wasn't too friendly.
Here we go.
It didn't take long to bump into yet another old friend, and for that we got the trophy Survivors, We Adapt. And you know what, I've been a fan of Mad Max 2015 since, 2015, and I've always wanted to live the Mad Max lifestyle, and this game was giving it to me, and for that I have to thank it. I love Mad Max, okay? But anyway, we ran into yet another old friend, and for that we got another trophy Among the Masters. And after that I decided to explore a bit more, ran into this bounty woman, Australian character, I guess. And she gave me the trophy Who Gives a Puck, just for completing my first bounty. And I figured it was a good time to just explore a bit, take out some of those bounties as well. And while doing all this exploring, I managed to get the trophy Now This Isn't Pod Racing, and that's for travelling 500 meters while riding any of the creatures. And they had this cool little minigame, I guess. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever played in my life, where any enemy that you scanned in the real world you could use in this minigame. It was fine, but I thought I'd get a start because you have to beat every single boss for a trophy, of course.
That unit is toast! Obliterated! Now that's a hollow kill!
Once I'd had enough of exploring, it was on to the next planet of the game. And this was like a mini planet, it wasn't quite as big as the other ones, but things got hectic pretty quickly.
Bad feeling? Yeah, me too.
Direct hit. That's not good at all.
Making me run!
They really don't want us looking around, do they?
No, I guess they don't, Cal. But then I went on to get another trophy. We had to do Jedi mind tricks to get an enemy, to kill an enemy that was the same type as them.
What's happening?
I mean, I'm literally the one who killed that enemy, not the other guy that was mind controlled, but I'll take it.
You can't block them all, right?
And then on to the next planet. Which again went about as well as you'd expect it to go for someone like Cal.
That can't be good. Ramias is still in there.
And before too long, we were taking on the machine from The Incredibles. I don't really know how that happened, but it was fun. I mean, I did feel like Mr. Incredible a bit, so that was, I mean, that was a dream come true.
I can't believe this!
We can't keep this up.
I have an idea!
There's nowhere left to run.
And then we stand together.
Oh, God. And for that, we got another story trophy for the path. And there was a ton of trophies I had to worry about later on, so I just went around doing some of the force tears, as obviously there's trophies related to that. Started doing some of the more mini games, but they were getting a little bit hard, a little bit tricky, a little bit tough. Not too bad for me though, because I did manage to grind my way through it. Look at this scorpion, what a goofy looking guy.
Now that's a holo kill.
And after I'd quenched my thirst of side activities, I went on to do the next mission of the game, which went about as well as you'd expect for Cal. But it's okay because we've got some more prime droid content.
And you are subordinate to me.
No, I am Model 388.
Yes, your model number is lower. You are subordinate.
No, my model number is earlier, meaning I am superior.
That is not how numbers work.
And it was about time for another trophy, so we got the trophy You've Got a Friend, and that was for getting your allies to help and assist 10 different times. Then somehow mid-cutscene we just got the trophy Skywalker, and that's for keeping my feet off the ground for 60 seconds, even though that wasn't the case. Yeah, there's a lot of bugs with this game, guys, including trophies. Yay. Yay, EA. EA, yay. Nay? Okay. Then was on to fighting Dagon Gera a second time, the pesky man that he is. But once he was defeated, we got another story trophy. And then it was on to this section of the game for more great droid content.
I heard the boss wants Blake. Do you hear that?
But that big beam you just saw that killed those poor innocent droids, there is a trophy attached to it where you had to push an enemy into the beam and killing them.
Time to change.
And then it was on to yet another boss fight, which these are great fun to be fair, so give me all the boss fights, I'm fine with that. There was no trophy for doing that, I just thought it was a fun boss fight, that's all. But I did get a trophy straight after that, which was Catch, and that's for hitting 3 enemies with a single roller mine. Also, for some reason I lost the footage to this, but I did get this trophy Reconnaissance around this time as well. And then Stealthy Cal went on to the next mission of the game and started to use TIE fighters as an actual weapon.
That's right.
And then there was Rick, the hardest boss of the game.
Get ready to die!
Rick the Dawn Technician. Look at the boss's name. Oh no. Can we take a moment of silence for Rick the Door Technician?
Keep pushing.
Oh, and look who's shown up again.
You're terrible. Is that it? Is that it?
God.
Face me.
And we got a trophy for fighting him, of course, but from this point onwards, I'm going to try to avoid spoilers as much as I can, because I feel like the third act of this game is probably some stuff you're going to want to experience for yourself. But if you've played the game, you kind of know what situations are occurring during all of it. So a big chunk of the game's been cut out here, but we did get the trophy Tragedy. And we had a situation where Cal went a little bit psycho mode, to be fair. But during Cal's psycho moment, we did get the trophy Han Swallow, and that's for killing 50 enemies while under the effect of slow. And again, I want to avoid spoilers really, but there were 2 other story-related trophies. And then we managed to get another trophy as well, the Jedi Path, and that's for fully upgrading 3 separate skill trees. And then it was basically onto the final section of the game, which again, I'm going to skip over. And for completing the story, we got the gold trophy, a place you could call home. And then it was on to step 2 of the platinum cleanup. And let's be clear, the map was god-awful in Fallen Order, and the map's a little bit better in Jedi Survivor as you can fast travel around, but my god, it's still pretty terrible. I thought we'd start with some of the easier trophies like Gambler, which was for completing all the Holotactics minigames, and we were set up for the hardest final battle in Holotactics history.
To the victor.
So easy,
Now that that difficult fight was out of the way, I thought it was time to go for another trophy, which was to fill out a cosmetic in all of Cal's categories, and the only one I was missing was changing his hairstyle. You also had to customise BD1, Cal's lightsaber, and the final one that I was missing, the blaster. There was greasy money for trading 25 collected items, and I was feeling like a good Samaritan, so I helped this little droid get his little ship out of this swamp. And I was rewarded with 2 trophies for doing it. There is no try, and then max capacity, as this droid was the final recruit that I needed for the bar. And it's Star Wars, so obviously you need a trophy titled It's a Trap.
It's a trap!
And that was for just exploring these random caverns which I naturally came across.
As well as more research in Kobo.
And then I felt like Cal deserved an award, so I equipped him with a poncho. Look how happy he is. And got a trophy for that as well. And I did actually have to search this one up, but there was a trophy to reach the highest point in Harvest Ridge. And I knew where it was, I just did not know how to get there. So yes, admittedly, I did have to watch a video on how to do this puzzle. But once that was all done, I climbed my way all to the top, got a lovely view, and of course a trophy, King of the World. And you might look at this and go, Joe, why are you subjecting Cal to a mullet? And guys, I had to force Cal to have a mullet because there was a trophy attached to it, and that was to drop kick an enemy while having a mullet. Yeah, that creature wasn't too happy about that. On to the next pretty easy trophy, which was Cobra Cal, and that was to do some training while wearing a headband. So just equip a headband and be this little stormtrooper statue. Storm Crow. Yeah, we'll go with that. Then there was a trophy linked to finding all Jedi chambers, and I was missing one and I had no clue where it was, so I did have to search up where this Jedi chamber was. And once I made my way over there, I got the next trophy, Star Tours, which is one of the many collectible related trophies. There was Slam Dunk for slamming 5 enemies with a single use of slam. And I did have to grind this one out a bit, but there was Get Down from there for attacking 20 enemies that were lifted. I saw that the best strategy was to just shoot them while they were in the air. And during all of this, I was collecting any seeds that I just kind of came across, which weren't too hard to find. Oh, why did that thing just disappear? But anyway, they weren't too hard to find because they had like green fireflies, or just fireflies I guess, floating around them. And once I'd collected and planted a certain amount, I did get a trophy, which again, somehow lost the footage for, but here's the evidence clear as day. And once I had 10 perk slots available, I just put something in all the slots and got a trophy for that as well. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Look at this fancy move I can do where I just have to hold a button and execute it perfectly. Do you think I'm doing this for fun? No, I'm not, actually. I've got to do this 10 times for a trophy, of course. Now I had to grind for this, but there are 100 shards in the world in total. They're only on 3 of the planets, so it's not too bad. And I managed to get about 70 of them naturally. I had to grind out for those final 30, as you needed all 100 shards to buy every item in Doma's store, and it was a long journey, but I managed to do it eventually.
I'll grab this one.
I held that one just for you.
Now look at this cool move I can do. Do you think I'm doing this for fun? No, I'm not. I've got to do While having a certain stance, you had to press triangle just as an enemy was about to hit you. And you had to do this 10 times. And then for our final move-specific trophy, we had to dodge 50 attacks while using the Force, which was very simple. You just had to hold square, or no, circle I think it was actually, and he would automatically dodge all the moves anyway. And then I'd already done all the seeds and the 100 shards, but it was time to get on with some more collectible grinds. I thought I'd start with the fun one, which was to take on every single bounty in the game. Which were quite fun, because you just had to go around and do these fun fights, because like I say, the 1v1s on this game are really good, to be fair. And they seemed to get harder and harder as each one went on as well. But once I'd done a certain amount, I had to take on the final bounty of the game, which just happened to be a character you might recognise as well. And after taking her down, you do run into a pretty interesting character, which I'm not going to spoil here. And alongside that, a trophy as well. And do you know what was next on the collectible list? Fish, of course. But luckily, unlike most games, you don't actually have to do the fishing yourself. You just have to find this little guy, his little scuba helmet, and talk to him in the 12 different locations, which, yes, I did have to search up about 3 of them and get the trophy. Right guys, now this bit is very important and I need you to pay close attention, which I know you can do because you've made it this far in the video, so congratulations. But there are 2 trophies that are kind of similar. That thing just literally sat on my face. We had to scan every single enemy in the game, and I had been scanning every single enemy in the game anyway, any that I'd come across. So I knew that all that was really left was some of these legendary monsters that I had purposely saved right until the end, because I wanted to kind of end on like a good battle note. So I was taking down these legendary monsters one at a time, having loads of fun, because like I say, they're just the 1v1s on this game are just fun. And I was scanning any that I hadn't before. And I want to make it very clear, look at this. Suitaban Alpha. You see it, I see it, everyone sees it. Not only do you see it, you see me killing Suitaban Alpha. Can we all confirm that? Can we all agree that I have killed this legendary boss? Yes? Okay. Now keep that in mind, because we'll get back to that in a minute, don't you worry. But for now, it's time to take on the final, should have been, final legendary boss of the game, the Golden Scorpion, basically. And I managed to kill that with some ease, and I got the trophy Intergalactic Geographic, and that was for scanning every single enemy in the game. And now it was time to complete every single Force Tear in the game, and most of these were fun little traversal challenges, some were fun combat challenges, but there were two that really stood out as a pain in the arse. First it was Ogdo Bogdo, and then Spawn of Ogdo Bogdo. I don't know what these names are, to be honest. But you've probably seen these floating around. These are 2 frogs, and they were ruthless.
Help me.
They were killing me over and over and over. This genuinely took me probably around an hour, because that one move where they just stick their tongue out and pull you in and kill you in one hit, that had me so many times. And I'm not gonna lie, some of these felt a little bit like Lies, Porcupines. Like, come on, this little frog hopping over so the tongue can get me. I mean, that's kind of skillful, to be fair. I kind of respect it. Yeah, like I said, this went on for way too long, but it was entertaining. It felt like a fair challenge, minus the odd death here and there. It felt like a fair challenge, so I stuck with it, and eventually I managed to kill Ogdo Bogdo and Spawn of Ogdo Bogdo, and it felt good. Now for something that didn't feel like a fair challenge. These two rancors. I tried for maybe an hour as well trying to take these two down, and it was not happening. And honestly, I felt like Ogdo and Bogdo had a couple of unfair deaths here and there. This was ridiculous, and it was also glitchy. I tried over and over again, but that one move where they just leap at you and kill you in one hit got ridiculous. There were genuine moments, which I'm going to slow down for you to see, where I was out of the vicinity of where the move actually was. And they were floating in the air, they were dragging me halfway across the battlefield. This fight genuinely just felt ridiculous, and unlike the other one, this just felt annoying more than fun. Like I said, any moments I'm just like, oh, right, okay, so I'm being pulled off into the galaxy because the fight is genuinely bugged and glitched. Okay. So yes, after suffering with this for just over an hour, I think, I did drop the difficulty down, which I hate doing. I would never typically actually do this in most games. Like, I'll stick it out if it feels like a fair, fun challenge. This did not feel fair or fun in the slightest, so I pulled it down to easy mode. And then I just went on to finish the other force tears that I was missing out on and got the trophy Blood, Sweat and Tears for completing all force tears. Now, remember Sutaban Alpha that we mentioned earlier and how I did definitely kill him? Yes, okay, we all remember that. Well, I was missing one trophy, which was to kill every legendary beast in the game, and I had done exactly that. I had gone through and killed every legendary beast up to this point, and the trophy had not popped. So I figured, oh, okay, maybe I've missed one. I'll go back through the data bank and look at all these enemies that I've scanned and killed and see if there's any that I've missed. And again, just to reiterate, Sutaban Alpha is in the data bank. You can see him right here. He's on that list. Yet the trophy had not popped. So I spent 2 hours going back to every location of where the legendary bosses were to just make sure that I hadn't missed one or that they were dead. I even took down the bonus rancor, which apparently you don't have to do for the trophy, but I did it anyway. Still no trophy. And like I said, I knew for a fact that I'd killed Sutaban Alpha, so I waited till the last one to go back and check. I was like, okay, I'll go back here again to see if he's there maybe. And there he was, of course. He'd respawned, despite the fact that legendary enemies do not respawn. And again, I went back into the databank just to make sure, oh, he's definitely there, meaning I definitely killed him already. But no, the game had decided that I hadn't done that. Wasted my time and had a miserable end to this experience where I just had to go back and kill Sutaban Alpha again. Again, I wouldn't have minded if he was on the map and it told me, okay, the game didn't register that, so you have to go kill him again. Still annoying, but sure. But the game was telling me that I had killed him as he was in the databank, so. But that, another glitch aside, great, so many glitches in this game. I think there's about 50 that I've left away from this video. I did manage to get the final trophy of the game, I'm a Living Legend, which of course resulted in the platinum of the game, the Jedi Survivor. So yeah, a bit of a sad end to that experience of a game, but oh well, what can you do? As for the rating of this game, I will give the gameplay of it an 8 out of 10. I think the one-to-one combat is great, it's never not satisfying, and going through the main plot of this game was really enjoyable, up to basically where I had to start doing cleanup is where the gameplay of it started to get kind of annoying. As for the story, I actually surprisingly really enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the story in Jedi Fallen Order, but this one I thought was pretty much just as good, maybe a little bit better. I think the side characters are great, I think Cal's a great main character, so I'd give the story like a 7.5 out of 10 overall. As for the exploration, this is where it gets a bit tricky because the world, the planet, the graphics, the visuals, all of that look great, but actually getting around the maps is still very annoying and tedious. So it's a bit of a tricky one, but because the planets and the worlds of it are so great to look at, I'll probably go like an 8 out of 10 overall for that. And as for the platinum difficulty, it's honestly like a 2 out of 10. It's really not a hard game. You can even take it down to easy if you really wanted. Oh, and you know what? You can add another rating on there, which is glitches/bugginess. We'll give that a 10. Yeah, we'll definitely give that a 10. I wasn't even playing on PC, which is meant to be horrendous. And this is one of the most buggy games I've played, if not the most buggy game I've played in the entire year. That's including trophy bugs as well, which is just like the most annoying thing ever. But bugs aside, I did really enjoy this game, but we are going to bring the bugs into the overall rating. I would have given this an 8.5 out of 10. Then going through the grindy bits of the game probably brought it down to like an 8 or something, but the bugs as part of it, so we'll go 8 out of 10 without the bugs, but with the bugs as the rating, we'll go 7.5 out of 10 for this game. But there we go, guys. That is the platinum for Jedi Survivor. I hope you enjoyed the video. Do leave a like if you enjoyed. As for the next platinum, the next main game is going to be Final Fantasy. I'm thinking of going back to the original Final Fantasy game and going for the platinum in that, even though it's meant to be kind of easy, but I thought it'd be fun to go through as well. So I'll hopefully see you for then. Until then, take care. Peace.